Harmful resources on Earth encompass a wide array of natural and man-made substances that pose threats to our environment, human health, and overall well-being. These resources range from toxic chemicals and pollutants to radioactive materials, deforestation, and the overexploitation of natural resources. Their impact can be devastating, with far-reaching consequences that span generations. Understanding and addressing the dangers posed by these harmful resources are critical to our ongoing efforts to preserve and protect the planet for current and future generations. This video highlights the urgency of comprehending the diverse range of harmful resources on Earth and the need for proactive measures to mitigate their adverse effects. Number 10. Asbestos. Asbestos is a naturally occurring mineral that has been widely used in various industries for its heat-resistant and insulating properties. However, it is also highly harmful to human health. When asbestos-containing materials are disturbed or damaged, they release tiny airborne fibers that can be inhaled or ingested. These fibers can become lodged in the lungs and other organs, leading to serious health problems. Long-term exposure to asbestos is associated with lung cancer, mesothelioma, a rare but aggressive cancer, and asbestosis, a chronic lung disease. Asbestos-related diseases often have a long latency period, meaning symptoms may not appear until years or even decades after exposure. Due to the severe health risks associated with asbestos, many countries have implemented strict regulations and guidelines for its handling, removal, and disposal to protect workers and the general public from its harmful effects. Number 9. Tobacco. Tobacco is undeniably one of the most harmful resources on Earth, posing significant threats to both human health and the environment. The primary harm caused by tobacco is through its consumption in the form of cigarettes and other tobacco products. Smoking tobacco is a leading cause of preventable deaths worldwide, responsible for a myriad of health problems such as lung cancer, heart disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and numerous other ailments. Secondhand smoke exposure is also a serious concern, as it can harm non-smokers who are exposed to it. Beyond their impact on human health, tobacco cultivation and production have detrimental effects on the environment. Large-scale monoculture farming of tobacco depletes soil nutrients and requires extensive use of pesticides and fertilizers, contributing to soil degradation and water pollution. The curing process, which involves drying the tobacco leaves, often relies on wood fuel, leading to deforestation and contributing to greenhouse gas emissions. Additionally, discarded cigarette butts are a significant source of litter and pollution, as they contain toxic chemicals that can leach into soil and water. Number 8. Arsenic. Arsenic is a naturally occurring element that, while present in the Earth's crust, can pose significant harm to both the environment and human health. Exposure to arsenic, especially in its inorganic form, is highly toxic. In the environment, arsenic can contaminate soil and water, endangering ecosystems and affecting wildlife. Additionally, arsenic pollution can result from various industrial activities, including mining and the use of arsenic-containing pesticides and wood preservatives. Human exposure to arsenic can occur through the consumption of contaminated drinking water or food, particularly in regions with naturally high levels of arsenic in their water sources. Chronic exposure to arsenic is associated with a range of health problems, including skin lesions, respiratory issues, cardiovascular diseases, and various types of cancer, such as skin, lung, and bladder cancer. Arsenic's toxicity has led to stringent regulations and guidelines to limit its presence in products and environments, with a primary focus on safeguarding public health and minimizing its adverse impact on the planet. Number 7. Lead. Lead is undeniably one of the most harmful resources on Earth, posing significant threats to both human health and the environment. This heavy metal, found naturally in the Earth's crust, has been widely used in various industries, such as battery manufacturing, construction, and paint production. However, the primary concern lies in its toxic properties. Lead exposure can have devastating effects on human health, particularly in children. Even low levels of lead exposure can lead to cognitive and behavioral impairments, developmental delays, and damage to vital organs like the brain, kidneys, and nervous system. In adults, Lead exposure is linked to cardiovascular problems, fertility issues, and a range of other health complications. Furthermore, lead contamination can severely impact the environment. Improper disposal of lead-containing products and emissions from industrial processes can contaminate soil, water, and air. This contamination can harm ecosystems, leading to the poisoning of wildlife, disruptions in food chains, and the overall degradation of natural habitats. Number 6. Mercury. Mercury is a highly harmful element with significant detrimental effects on both human health and the environment. It exists in various forms, including elemental liquid mercury, inorganic compounds, and organic compounds like methylmercury. Human activities, such as industrial processes, coal combustion, and gold mining, release mercury into the atmosphere and waterways. Mercury pollution is particularly concerning due to its ability to bioaccumulate and biomagnify in the food chain. Fish and seafood often contain elevated levels of methylmercury, posing a serious risk to those who consume them. Prenatal exposure to methylmercury, primarily through maternal fish consumption, can lead to developmental issues in children, affecting the nervous system and cognitive function. Mercury contamination also impacts the environment, as it can lead to the pollution of aquatic ecosystems, harming aquatic life and avian species that rely on these ecosystems. Additionally, the release of mercury into the atmosphere contributes to air pollution and can travel over long distances before depositing into water bodies. International efforts, such as the Minamata Convention on Mercury, aim to reduce mercury emissions and protect human health and the environment. Nevertheless, the persistence and global nature of mercury pollution make it a critical issue that requires continued vigilance and concerted actions to mitigate its harmful effects. Number 5. Cyanide. Cyanide is a highly toxic chemical compound that poses significant risks to both human health and the environment. It is found in various forms, with the most common being hydrogen cyanide and sodium cyanide. Cyanide is often used in industrial processes, such as mining and metallurgy, where it is employed for the extraction of precious metals like gold and silver. However, its toxicity is a major concern. Exposure to cyanide, either through inhalation, ingestion, or skin contact, can lead to severe health consequences. It interferes with the body's ability to use oxygen, potentially causing respiratory distress, seizures, and even death. The infamous environmental disaster at Baia Mare in 2000, where a cyanide spill contaminated rivers in Eastern Europe, is a tragic example of the potential devastation cyanide can cause to ecosystems. Number 4. Radioactive materials. Radioactive materials pose a significant threat to both human health and the environment on Earth. These substances emit ionizing radiation, which can damage living cells and genetic material, leading to various health issues, including cancer and genetic mutations. Improper handling and disposal of radioactive materials can result in contamination of air, water, and soil, causing long-lasting environmental damage. Nuclear accidents, like the Chernobyl disaster and the Fukushima Daiichi incident, serve as stark reminders of the catastrophic consequences when radioactive materials are mishandled. To mitigate these risks, strict regulations and safety measures are in place to control the use and storage of radioactive materials, emphasizing the importance of responsible management to protect both human populations and the planet. Number 3. Plutonium. Plutonium is an element notorious for its extreme toxicity and hazardous nature, making it a highly harmful substance on Earth. This radioactive element, which has several isotopes, is primarily known for its applications in nuclear weapons and reactors. The sheer potential for destructive power makes plutonium a global security concern, as it can be used to produce devastating atomic bombs. Furthermore, plutonium is exceedingly radioactive, emitting alpha particles that are particularly dangerous if inhaled or ingested. Exposure to even small amounts of plutonium can result in severe health consequences, including an increased risk of cancer, lung diseases, and long-term radiation damage. Its long half-life, with some isotopes lasting for thousands of years, means that the environmental and health hazards associated with plutonium can persist for generations. Number 2. Formaldehyde. Formaldehyde, a colorless and pungent-smelling chemical compound, is widely recognized as a harmful substance due to its significant health and environmental risks. This versatile compound is commonly used in various industries for its preservative and disinfectant properties, as well as in the production of resins, textiles, and plastics. However, formaldehyde exposure can have detrimental effects on human health. Inhalation of formaldehyde fumes can irritate the eyes, nose, and throat, leading to symptoms like coughing, wheezing, and skin rashes. Prolonged or high-level exposure to formaldehyde has been linked to more severe health issues, including respiratory problems, asthma exacerbations, and an increased risk of certain cancers, such as nasopharyngeal and leukemia. Formaldehyde is also an environmental concern. It can be released into the air and water through industrial processes, causing pollution and potential harm to aquatic life and ecosystems. Number 1. Chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs. Chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, are highly detrimental substances due to their significant contributions to ozone layer depletion and global environmental harm. Once widely used in aerosol sprays, refrigerants, and foam-blowing agents, CFCs have been identified as a major driver of ozone layer thinning. Ozone in the Earth's stratosphere acts as a protective shield, blocking harmful ultraviolet, UV radiation from the sun. However, when CFCs are released into the atmosphere, they eventually rise to the stratosphere, where UV radiation breaks them down, releasing chlorine atoms. These chlorine atoms then catalytically destroy ozone molecules, resulting in the formation of the ozone hole. The thinning of the ozone layer has dire consequences, as it leads to increased UV radiation at the Earth's surface. This heightened UV exposure poses serious health risks to humans, including a higher incidence of skin cancers, cataracts, and weakened immune systems. Moreover, the environmental consequences of ozone layer depletion extend to ecosystem disruption, affecting plant life, marine organisms, and the entire food chain. It's important to note that while these substances are dangerous, their risks and impacts can vary depending on the level of exposure, usage, and context. Additionally, there are efforts and regulations in place to mitigate the risks associated with these substances and promote safety and awareness. Would you like it? Hit the like button and subscribe to our channels for more interesting and informative videos.